Good evening, my TI fellow ever. Um, Today, someone that I know came over and finished doing my cameras for me, and that made me very happy. And so, when he came, the guy across the street with the white van, he had to make it his business to sit out there the whole time he was putting up my cameras. But one bright light, both of them was on, but one was real bright. And he did it for 2 hours. 2 hours. And then I'm noticing he has something in his corner. And that's another truck. That's another truck. With the lights on. Because the guy was here at least 2 hours. And he had did a lot of work before I actually started videoing this guy. And and even after he left, he cut off the lights and still had his truck sitting out there. I mean, do he really think he put fear in somebody? Because he gonna keep right on. I'm at the place. He cut the lights off after he left. But my cameras are up. And it's people like him is the reason why I have to have my cameras up. He want to invite people over to his house to keep having these meetings and stuff. You know, I know people too. All I got to start doing is start telling the guys that friends of my son what this man is doing, and they will whoop him behind. So what he need to do is leave me alone. I'm trying not to get nobody in trouble, but I'm tired of people bothering me. I'm tired of them bothering me. This is what I was saying, that you can see the light from the ceiling coming in through the roof, and I don't think that should be there. When you got light coming in through the roof, they just when we first went in the backyard, and the guys behind us come out talking loud, like really, really, you little punk. You's a coward. You got to hide inside of a house and attack women, old women at that. So really, who you think you terrifying? Not me. They can talk loud all they want to and attacking an old woman, 63-year-old woman with technology. You really think you can put fear in somebody? And this one over here, he keep right on messing with me. I call social service on him because he's teaching those with social service. He no better because they part of this mess too. But he's teaching his son to be a terrorist. Now, when this boy get a teenager and get grown, and start smelling himself, and he get out here and start doing stuff, it's his fault. Because he's teaching him to be a terrorist. He start making bombs and start blowing up, setting fires and stuff like that. What can he say when you taught him to do wrong? You taught him to break the law. So that's what these people that got them doing it from in the beginning, this what they want. Cause they don't live nowhere near us. They don't live in none of these neighborhoods. They live so far away from us, it's pathetic. You probably have to go through a whole police department to get to their neighborhood. Cause they don't want to be bothered with people. We don't know how they look. We don't know nothing about them, but they last names, Rockefellers and all this type of stuff. You have no idea where they stay at. So I just wanted to post me a video today, tell what happened today. But I tell you what, he's not that young, but he clammed up there. He clammed up there up in the ceiling. And I told her, I said, you know you're not that young no more. But he got up there. He got up there. I was impressed. He's a real skinny somebody, but he's strong because you know where I could have held up there like that. And he's limber too. He looked like he's stiff, but he's stiff. Oh, yes. I was glad. I was trying to hold that thing because he didn't want to. We had took the letter outside. He didn't want to bring it back and forth. So we piled up a lot of containers that we got. So I had to hold it while he came up. He did it though. I am happy. I can see. Now if I can get my silence under control. Oh, I haven't had silence problem like this in a long time. I don't even know if I ever had it this bad. I was looking at Henry and Monique, and they were showing this video. On their video, they were showing a video of this bishop confessing his sins. And so he was saying that, he wanted his name big. He wanted to be one of those big time uh, pastors and bishops for the big church and all this type of stuff. So he went to his papa and told his papa, which is someone over him, a bishop, really is a bishop. He's a bishop, but a bishop over him. They call that person a papa. This is in Africa. You got people over here in America calling them daddy. Anyway, uh, he said he went to the papa, and the papa told him he had to sleep in a grave for 7 days. Ain't no way, ain't no way on this earth I won't fame that much where I'ma sleep in a dig up a grave and get in the casket with the corpse. Oh Lord. Then there was something about some blood. I couldn't call her husband. He's African, so sometimes I don't. She was explaining things too. There's some stuff I think I kind of missed because there was something about blood. I don't know if he had to drink the blood or what, but I knew he had to kill 7 people. There was some, I guess there were other bishops that was giving him problems, and he wanted them dead, and he killed them. I didn't even hear all of it. I had started doing something else. But he was talking about there's a lot of this stuff, not just in Africa, but in America too. And I believe it. I believe it because I know when I was in going to church, there's some dirty people in church, and they'll pick on you. He'll get the pastor get up there on the pulpit and just talk about you. It's some crazy stuff going on, and they're gonna answer to the Lord about it too. There's no way on this earth, and I know God has called me to preach, but I'm not getting ready to sell my soul just so that I can. I mean, you defeating the purpose of God calling you to preach. If you're gonna go sleeping in a grave, sleeping in a casket, the dead person, they don't bury the dead person. You don't dig this dead person up, and then you're gonna get in the corpse. Then you're gonna kill people, drinking blood. You doing everything. That's the devil. He don't have sense enough to know that that's not of God. And they doing this stuff here in America. He said that uh, Henry, he's like prophetic, and he get dreams. And she, they both get dreams, but he interpret the dreams. But God has showed them things about some of these pastors here in America also. They be telling it. They some of them I already know. They didn't have to tell me nothing. I already knew some of these people were nothing but crooks. And then they'll try to tell something on you. Well, if you tell anything on me, I'm not up there preaching. I'm not getting before people preaching nothing. You know, like this one, I don't know if I should call. They don't did one on her too. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say Juanita Bynum. And I don't know what kind of woman this woman is. I saw where she typing in tongues. How in the world you typing tongues? She just make you being foolish. And these people is money hungry. And she was going to Africa too and say, God said 27 people in here gonna give me $1,000. And these people were getting up. Not 27 people didn't get up, but people were getting up, giving her $1,000. And then after she got all that money, she told him, she said, God told me not to repeat going to the same church twice. So she telling them she won't be back. You don't got these people money, and now you telling them you won't be back. 27 people to get her $1,000. And they were saying it's this one bishop told this one person to give $1,000. They be just one person to give $1,000. And see, one thing I know about God is not going to tell you to give what you don't have. He has never told me to give what I didn't have. And he have told me to give money. I've heard him tell me a certain amount of money to give. And I gave it because I had it. The most he ever told me to give was $100. And I had a few $100 in my pocket at that time. When he said it, I went my pocketbook and gave that $100, went and put it on that pulpit. He's never told me to give money that I didn't have. But these preachers will. They sure tell you. Some of them know how much money you got. You know how much money you got in the bank. All this kind of stuff. Who you trust like me? Not me. I don't want nobody knowing that much about my private life, how much money I got in the bank. You know, I don't want nobody in my brain unless God Himself is telling them, and I know if God is saying it. And say this is what the gang stalkers do. Sending you your personal stuff that they listening in your house because they got stuff planted in your house and planted on you. And then they sending this information out through the cell phone and they reading it like they some kind of psychic. They had me fooled at one time. They had me fooled until I started seeing them with the cell phone. I said, they reading this stuff off the cell phone. They sending this stuff out through the internet. That's why they want to put these implants in our brain. Put all this nano technology in our food and water. This is not good. Mm. It tastes like uh, bell pepper juice. I had brought 4 of them. Now the first 2 I drunk tasted good. But this green energy machine, it is not good. Yeah, I have to make me some more of my tea. And that stuff that I made, that stuff works. I take I had some turmeric tea, got tea bags, turmeric tea, ginger tea in the tea bags. And I think I had was it ginseng? I think I had ginseng. And then I took some ginger root, and cut it up. Peeled it and cut it up. And I had some turmeric, but I couldn't find it. So somebody must have threw my turmeric away. But I had the turmeric tea, so that's just um. I had some garlic. I put some garlic in it and lemon. I took 2 lemons. Um, I waited till after everything boiled, and then I put the lemon in it. And I just set the lemon peel and all in there. And then after it cooled down, I put honey in it. Put it in the refrigerator. Now that's what I started drinking for a couple of days. And I tell you, boy, that stuff will clean you out. So I ain't said I was gonna make some more today, but I did. I'm gonna make some more. And I could tell I was losing weight in my stomach too. And then yesterday, I ate some fruit and I ate some pasta. So I only give me time to lose weight. Cause I hadn't been eating no sweets. If I had it was just a little bit. My daughter brought a bunch of junk food. And then today I ordered some cookies, but I didn't really eat that much cookies. I dog like I really got to get the stomach down off of it. But that's not healthy. I want some of this butter off me too. Some women like these butts. I don't like it. I like for my clothes. I don't like my hips to be out of proportion. My butt, not my stomach. You know. So I'm gonna get smart and start working. I put my total gym in my bedroom And I got my bike thing. It's not a bike. It's something that you kind of like that slide thing. I put that in my bedroom. I got a treadmill, but that thing is too big for me to kind of drag it. I, I might could take it through the. I just wait till it get warmer, and I start going out in the car in the garage and walk on it. What I need to do is stop looking at these cooking videos. And even when we cooking these cakes, they got me wanting to start cooking cakes. 'Cause I saw this lady. I had made a peach cobbler. It was supposed to be a pound cake, and I got one of my pans. My pound cake pan it's not that good. It's like every time I bake a cake in it, the cake falls. But I have a butt pan cake pan. It don't make it fall, so I have to just start using that butt pan. But when the cake fell, I was so upset. I said, this is too much flour, too much eggs and butter to throw away. I had some peaches, and I took those peaches and put them in this pan. I had this glass pan. I put the peaches in that, drained them and put them in that thing, and put some cinnamon and nutmeg. What else I put in there? Cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar, brown sugar, and some sugar, butter. And then I took that cake and crumbled it up, put it on top of it, and mixed it all up there together and baked it. And everybody loved it. My granddaughter told me she couldn't eat no butter cobbler. And that happened 2 times. That happened twice. So I said, this is how I'm gonna do it from now on. When I make a peach cobbler, I'm just gonna make me a pound cake. Don't let it cook all the way. Don't let it bake until it's hard on top, but still not all the way done. And crumble it up and put it in on the top of those peaches. But I saw a lady make a peach pound cake. So she took like I tried to do that. I didn't let it bake all the way. It was good though, but I could have let it cook a little bit longer. But she took somebody came out of my room. I knew there was nobody in my room. I reckon nobody up there trying to take those cameras. If they do, I'm gonna call the police. I don't care if the police gang stop. They keep messing with. I'm gonna care what my daughter say, cause she gets mad when I call the police. I ain't gonna care if they up there and they cut the wires up there. I'm calling the police. That's there. But anyway, the lady she did it a pound cake. She poured it halfway. She took the peaches and I think she seasoned the peaches first, and then she put it in and stirred it around, and then she finished pouring the cake batter and baked it. And then she made a topping. It looked like it was really good. But I really do, because I keep watching and see, I love to bake. I used to bake all the time. When my children were little, I always had fresh baked cakes, pies, or cookies, something always freshly baked in my house. I used to love to cook. I was skinny then though. After having my children, I weighed 123 pounds. Before I had my weight for 95. I weighed 95 pounds. Then after I had all four of my kids, I weighed 123 pounds. And I weighed that until when I got my 30s, I started gaining weight. I went up to 128. And I went to 135. I just kept going and going and going. So I don't know if I'm going to start baking cakes or not. I had said I was going to make some salmon croquettes. I brought some salmons. And I got some shrimp. But I didn't get no crab meat. But that's how I make my crab cakes. I put shrimp and crab meat in it. In the salmon croquettes. And I use my bell peppers and onions. And I have a secret that I put in. I ain't gonna tell you. But that's what really makes them taste good. That secret that I put in there. I might make some tomorrow. It all depends on how you feel. These people help me vibrate so bad. And it just seems like it just drain my energy. I wake up in the middle of the night. It just feel like they just something that just punching me in my back. That's how powerful this stuff can come out under the floor and making my spine vibrate. And I can hear a motor. I can hear a motor. And then when it hits over here where I'm sitting at now. It'll hit right here where I'm sitting. That's the same way it was at the other house. They did the same thing at the other house. It just make my skin just dry. But I got to really work on myself, get my neck and all this stuff fixed up. So I'm gonna get off of here. Y'all know how I get on here and get talking and talking and talking and talking. That guy over there across that street with that white van, he want to keep messing with me, and he think black men won't whoop his behind. Let him keep messing with me, cause see nobody's bothering him. Nobody's bothering him. And when the guy came to fix we in the house and we was in the backyard, and he gonna come park his truck close to the road with that thing bright. And he sat out there that whole time that the guy was here. Nobody's scared of him. Nobody's scared of him. Let me get off. Alrighty. Good night. Be blessed in the Lord.